Hey my lovelies, I hope you are all safe and well. It's Mitch here. I'm just coming on to do this Wednesday's Facebook card reveals for you all. So just to let you know, the deck that I'm working with is the beautiful The Guardian of the Night Tarot by MJ Cullion. Really cool deck, this one. So let's have a little look and see where the energies are taking us. So if you were drawn to card number 1, we're going into death. Now it may be that recently you've lost some people to the world of spirit, or you might be aware of people that perhaps are literally in that kind of crossover and are about to transition. And if that's the case, then obviously hold the love and hold the energy for them. But usually death doesn't actually represent sort of transition and sort of passing. It can do if that's something personally connected to you that that is happening, but usually death is actually seen as a bit of a rebirth card. It's actually seen as a little bit of a time to welcome in peace into your heart, and a time for peace to prevail. And what I would think is really important with the death card is essentially it's wanting to sort of acknowledge some changes. It's wanting to sort of really hold space while you perhaps close off from some things that are no longer working or serving you. So death usually wants to keep it a little bit real when it shows up. So maybe there are things happening in your world at the moment that are not giving you the best return. Maybe you're not getting the sort of in-heart richness from certain experiences, and maybe you are having to close the door on some things. And I just feel like death is giving you the permission, the acceptance, the understanding that you can close off from whatever these things are, and you can start to open up to some new experiences. Death is often seen as a time of sort of transformation, and like I say, often a bit of a cycle of rebirth. So it's usually never fully the ending. And even with physical death, it's never the ending, is it? Because yes, our spiritual body leaves the physical element, but it goes into the spirit world, and we know there's something else. Most of us that work with spirit and have independent connections know that there's something more. So the soul is set free. So it may just be at the moment you're being encouraged to do some bits and pieces to really identify what isn't serving, what isn't working for you, and to close those doors and to walk away, to allow peace to prevail. And it may be the end of something. It may be that you've gone as far as you can actually physically take something, whether it be a relationship, that could be a romantic connection, it could be connections with friends or family members or work colleagues and energies of what they seek. Maybe there is a work situation that is just completely leaving you overwhelmed and you just can't go anywhere with this anymore. It could be so many things, so you'll know what it is for you. But close the doors on whatever isn't working, whatever isn't serving, and be ready to open up to something beautiful and new and more in keeping with your own energy lines. So quite a powerful time of change death wants to sort of really bring in. But it's like, don't fear those changes, because they don't have to be scary. It's just transformation. Now then, as I'm moving into card number 2, we're going into the energy of the Two of Cups. Oops, see if I can bring that in a little bit close. Two of Cups is a connection card. So it could well be that at the moment you are forging some sort of new friendships with people, and maybe they're happening a little bit unexpectedly. Maybe they're happening a little bit out of the blue. Now, often Two of Cups takes us into a bit of a soulmate space, so maybe there are people that you're connecting with or vibing with, and you feel like you've got that real sort of soulful kind of connection. You feel like there's a bit of a soul bond. You maybe have known them from a time before, whether it's from this life or a previous life. Comes in a lot as well romantically, so depending on what your status is determines which piece we need to sort of acknowledge and look at. So if you're watching this video and you're currently already with a partner, maybe there's a little bit of a need for reconnection. Maybe it's been a little bit like ships passing in the night. Maybe it's all been a little bit overwhelming. Maybe you just haven't had the time that you need to have with an equal or somebody that really is important to you. So if you're kind of watching this and you've got a partner in your life, it could well be that you just need to have a bit more actual reconnection time, So maybe it's making a point of having those date nights, whether it's going out for a meal, the theatre, cinema, or even a date night in on the sofa, Netflix, curry, whatever it is you guys like to do. But just having a little bit more of that intimacy, both intimacy of mind as well as intimacy in terms of sexual energy. If you're watching this and you are single, then this may well be a time period where there's somebody new showing up and coming into your world, and it may be just a really good friend. It may not be anything romantic, but it can also lead into romantic setting. So if you're watching this and you're single, be open to maybe a new love interest showing up, and it might be something that you're not wanting, you may be not looking for it, but sometimes the best people come into our life and connect with us when there is no expectation, when we are just, you know, vibing in other areas of our world. So be open to some real heart-centered energy, and it's nice sometimes if we can just share connection, love and heart with people, and if it develops into something else, that ends up becoming a bonus. Occasionally, if there are anniversaries of loved ones that are no longer physically here but are walking with you from the world of spirit, maybe there's a bit of an acknowledgement for a loved one that's actually sort of got your back, no longer physically but in the world of spirit, and maybe you're just feeling the essence, the love of them coming in around you as well. So it can represent past love or love that lives on but in a different sort of way, if you've got a soulmate that's no longer physically on the earth plane anymore. So always a little bit of an interesting one, this one comes in, because there's a few elements to it almost, you know. And sometimes it's just really good friends that have got your back, that, you know, are really showing up for you. Maybe we've got some of that going on as well. And finally, as we're going into card number 3, we're going into party time. We're going into the 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups is a time to be merry, it's a time to be bright, it's a time to absolutely let your hair down and have some fun. Maybe it's all got very serious, maybe it's all got very overwhelming in recent times, and maybe you just need a bit of a night out, or a night in, depending on what you want to do. So this is usually about kind of getting together with great people that really enrich your heart, that really enrich your life, just people that maybe you haven't seen for a little while. So it's often getting together, having a bit of a social, so maybe meeting up with some great friends, going out for a drink or a meal, or maybe some kind of little date. It can also show up if there are birthdays, so maybe there are some birthdays or other types of celebration that are showing up for you. Could be an engagement party, there could be a hen do, it could be so many things, you know, it could be weddings happening, but it's a time to have fun, to get together with people that you haven't seen for a little while. Could be some birthdays as well, and just a chance to have some fun, to let your hair down. 3 of Cups is also a great time to manifest, so maybe some of you guys are really sort of focusing on your intentions, what you're putting out to the universe and the world at the moment, and sort of give yourself permission to receive everything that your heart desires, because absolutely those dreams, those requests can be acknowledged and they can come back to you. But ultimately this is a bit of a social, bit of a night out, and just getting together with people that really enrich your heart, that really enrich your life. I'm planning to do this with some friends at the moment. We're trying to organise a little dinner date evening, so it can be in that way as well, you know. But it's just real beautiful people that have got your back, that you love, you know, and you want to make a point of spending time with. So definitely be open to this. So an interesting set of cards this week. I hope you can make sense of their messages. Going to leave the love with you. Just want to say, at the moment, I've completely caught back up with all of my voice recorded email readings. So if you're still waiting for one from me, if you haven't seen it, do check your junk folders or your sort of spam folder, because they may have gone in there. I've also got back on top of all of my emails, so I've replied to absolutely everybody. So again, if you're awaiting an email from me and you haven't had anything, it's probably hiding in a junk folder somewhere, so just be mindful of that. What do I need to let you know about? So the main thing, this coming Saturday and Sunday, I'm doing a double weekender over in Carpe Noctem in Frome. So I think we have 4 spaces left for the Saturday for private one-to-one readings. So, you know, use the sort of the link available and you can book a space in there. And then on Sunday, I'm doing a mix of either readings or violet flame healing, or you can book to have both. A lot of people are starting to book an hour session, and then they're having half an hour reading and then half an hour violet flame session. You can have what you want. If you want a whole hour violet flame, you can have that. If you don't want the violet flame but you want a reading on the Sunday, you can book that in as well. So it's going to be great, really looking forward to doing that. I think there's about 4 or 5 spaces for the Sunday, so again, use the same link on the website, get it booked in. It'd be great to see you. We're doing this as a tester for the Sunday, and if it's well supported, it may be something that I do again. If it's not that well supported, then I won't be bothering again. But it's good to sort of test things now and again to see what the sort of the interest is. So keep shining bright, look after yourselves, have a beautiful week ahead, and I will catch up with some of you lovelies very soon, whether it's on Zoom, in person, or at one of my upcoming shows. Take care, much love, bye for now.